Good morning, America. The combative hearing on Capitol Hill. Michael's one-on-one with Charlie Sheen, and a young fan surprised at the Eagles-Cowboys game. Grilled. Health Secretary Kennedy faces questions from both sides of the aisle.
Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
How can you be that ignorant?
As he moves to radically transform the nation's vaccine policy. What President Trump said about his choice to lead the nation's top health agencies.
Overnight, the extreme weather on both coasts, delaying the Eagles-Cowboys season opener in Philadelphia. Ginger is tracking it all.
8-year-old Richard is back home after being bitten by a shark while snorkeling, undergoing hours of surgery. This morning, what a Good Samaritan did to help save him.
These were 100% effective, and because of that, he came in a much different condition than he probably would have.
And how Richard's 10-year-old sister Rose came to his aid.
ABC News exclusive, Charlie Sheen, one-on-one. You ready?
I am, yes. How about you?
I don't know. This morning, what he's sharing for the first time, more than a decade after his very public meltdown.
What do you think when you look back there? Do you recognize yourself?
His descent into sex and drug use, revealing he's HIV positive, getting sober, in his relationship now with his kids.
Remembering a fashion visionary, Giorgio Armani, who built an empire, dressed so many of Hollywood's biggest stars over the last half-century.
Last American standing, Amanda Anisimova powering past Naomi Osaka and into the U.S. Open final.
The first jobs report since the president fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, how those numbers could impact mortgage rates and what you pay for your credit card.
A lot of people looking at that. First, the fallout from that combative hearing on Capitol Hill. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. grilled by senators of both parties amid the battle over vaccines in Washington and across the country. Joe Bryan is on Capitol Hill, starting us off. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, George, good morning. It was the most contentious hearing yet for a Trump cabinet secretary. And at the end, 3 Republicans, all of whom had voted to confirm Kennedy, were openly questioning whether he's the right person to oversee public health in this country.
Overnight, after a tense grilling of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Capitol Hill.
Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths?
Again, I would like to see the data and talk about the data.
You have had this job for 8 months, and you don't know the data about whether the vaccine saved
and
lives?
that's the problem.
How can you be that ignorant?
President Trump standing behind his handpicked choice to lead the nation's top health agencies.
It's not your standard talk, I would say, and that has to do with medical and vaccines. But if you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
Just last week, Kennedy ousting CDC Chief Susan Menares after less than a month on the job. Menares in a Wall Street Journal op-ed saying she refused to rubber stamp yet-to-be-written recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel, quote, filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. Kennedy saying she's lying.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I had with her, there were
witnesses. And let me get this straight. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. In a month, she became a liar?
Yeah.
A longtime vaccine skeptic, Kennedy has moved quickly to overhaul the nation's vaccine policy. The FDA narrowing the scope of people approved for the COVID vaccine this fall to just those over 65 and adults and children at high risk. Across the country, Americans telling us they're now confused and concerned about vaccine availability.
I don't know what the schedule is or what you're allowed to do or what illness you have to have in order to get it.
In that fiery hearing, Republican Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, a doctor, publicly expressing concern, reading Kennedy a letter from a worried physician.
There's no firm guidance and concern about liability if vaccines are given to a patient who requests it, but not on the current CDC list. Pharmacists are requiring a prescription now even for patients over 65, creating a huge headache. I submit these for the record.
Without objection.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
And John Barrasso, a surgeon and the #2 Republican in Senate leadership.
And I've grown deeply concerned. The public has seen measles outbreaks, leadership in the National Institute of Health questioning the use of mRNA vaccines, The recently confirmed director of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention fired. Americans don't know who to rely on.
Democrats calling on Kennedy to resign. And after that hearing, 3 Republican senators, all of whom were critical yes votes just months ago in Kennedy's confirmation, refusing to say they still have confidence in the secretary.
Do you still have confidence in him, Senator? His ability to lead HHS?
Do you have confidence in him, Senator?
Is there a reason you're not
confidence
answering?
in what the President of the United States is doing, and I will not second guess.
This grilling on Capitol Hill coming as new polling out of Reuters and Ipsos shows that a majority of Americans, 55%, say that the country's public health is on the wrong track. Guys.
Okay, Jay, thanks very much. Let's bring in our Chief Medical Correspondent, Dr. Narula. And Dr. Narula, let's start with the science right here. Why is it important for kids to get vaccinated? What happens if they're not?
George, it feels like right now it is a chaotic situation. Like we are unmoored. There is no captain steering the ship. And I know there's a lot of misinformation and mistrust, but one thing that should not be under fire is vaccination and the public health story success that vaccination has been in this country. We know that it has saved millions of lives. We know that it prevents disability from diseases. So we forget, but polio can cause paralysis. Measles can lead to brain inflammation. So if you get sick, it can end up resulting in complications. We have vaccines for cancer, HPV, and hepatitis. We need vaccinations to protect the vulnerable, the ill, the immunocompromised, children, right? So it is so important that we not forget the powerful impact. And I know it's easy as we, live in a world where we don't see infectious diseases that much, but we don't have to look far back to COVID a couple years ago, and we can see how one virus, one vulnerability can impact us, not to mention the economic impact of hospitalizations, doctors' costs, lost wages. But I think that personalization and remembering the lives that we all saw lost. I remember the freezer trucks behind Lenox Hill Hospital where I worked, filled with bodies, patients saying goodbye on iPads. Let us not forget the toll that can happen, the immeasurable loss and suffering when we let our guard down.
Yep, serious impact on public health. And given what's happened with some states, they're pushing to make vaccines more accessible. In Florida, they're moving to remove vaccine mandates. So we may just be looking at a patchwork of states with different protocols, different policies.
That's the right word, I think, a patchwork, and it's a fractured approach that we really haven't seen right now in this country before. And unfortunately, we are seeing exactly that. Florida sort of stepping backwards with their mandates, the Northwest and the Northeast forming alliances. But the reality is, Michael, vaccines don't know borders. They don't know the difference between Texas and Washington. And even though you're vaccinated, it's not perfect. So you can still get sick. So, it's going to be a tough situation. We may see the rise of groups like the Vaccine Integrity Program that's now coming out of Minnesota to kind of fill in these gaps in the science because people feel lost now for where to turn.
I can't help but follow the money here. And you have to wonder if the removal of a mandate potentially takes the insurance companies off the hook for reimbursements here.
There's absolutely going to be ripple effects, Rebecca. We have a signal that private insurance companies for now will continue to cover, but the big concern is around Medicare, Medicaid, vaccines, the vaccine fund for children. Those who are getting free vaccines, what will happen to their coverage for vaccinations?
You talked about gaps in the science, but the basic science about vaccines is pretty clear, right? Vaccines are safe, they are effective, they should be used by kids.
George, the science has not changed. The science doesn't change. What changes is how we interpret it, our policy. The science has not changed.
Thank you.
Thank you, as always, for clearing that up for us. Really appreciate you. And we're going to turn now to the August jobs report this morning. The first report since President Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Our Elizabeth Schulze has more for us. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Michael. Good to be here with you guys. So this jobs report really does confirm that employers are dramatically slowing down their hiring. Only 22,000 jobs were added to the workforce in August. That was way below expectations. The unemployment rate also ticked higher to 4.3%, highest rate now in nearly 4 years. So if you are looking for a job right now, it is a lot harder to get one. That's why we're seeing this trend of so-called job hugging, people staying in their jobs for longer now instead of quitting. This week, jobs report does keep the Federal Reserve on track to cut interest rates this month to help stimulate the economy. That's something President Trump has been relentlessly pushing the Fed to do, Michael.
And we know there's been turmoil at the Fed and pressure, as you said, from the president.
Yes, and this is the first report since the president fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, claiming without any evidence that the data was rigged to make him look bad. Trump Trump has been attacking Fed Chair Powell, and we have now also learned that the Justice Department launched a formal criminal investigation into Lisa Cook, that is the Fed governor who Trump attempted to fire last month, claiming that she committed mortgage fraud. She has not been charged with the crime, and her lawyers are calling this firing illegal.
And President Trump and the First Lady also met with the CEOs of the biggest tech companies at the White House.
This was a big meeting talking about AI. 24 leaders, including the CEOs of Google, OpenAI, Meta, all there, all of them praising the president. Notably absent was Elon Musk. He was not at that meeting. We have seen First Lady Melania Trump try to lead this initiative to educate the workforce and educate Americans about artificial intelligence. Sam Altman is now also pledging as part of that to educate companies about how to use AI. But, at the end of the day, we've seen a Salesforce. They said last week 4,000 of its own jobs were cut because of AI. So we are already seeing the impact here in the workforce.
Well, we definitely are seeing the impact immediately.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Huge and rapid changes. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. We're going to turn now to the extreme weather on both sides of the country. Thunderstorms delaying the NFL season opener last night in Philadelphia. Ginger is tracking it all, as well as the tropical threats off both coasts. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, Rebecca, I need to know if Brad, our stage manager, big Eagles fan, has slept at all, because this game was paused for a time because of lightning. That lightning delay, they saw it on the radar, it worked, they got everybody out, but it took some time. And I think it was well after midnight before everything wrapped up and the Eagles won. So, yes, that's good. We actually had severe storms west of us here in Virginia, back into parts of Tennessee. But you go all the way over to Arizona, and that monsoon storm, well, it has been kicking up winds, 20 to 32 mile per hour winds, and some dust being kicked up near the airport there and in Phoenix. Now, they need that moisture. They're going to have a bit more with the monsoon flow, part of it remnants of Lorena. But Hurricane Kiko is what we have our eyes on in the Pacific, because by early next week, the Hawaiian Islands could be seeing impacts. Definitely high surf. Most certainly could see some wind gusts and even some rain showers. But this, again, Tuesday through Thursday next week. So some of the biggest impacts as it passes likely north of the islands. We'll keep an eye on that one. We're also watching what will likely be Gabrielle by this weekend. And now some of the computer models are putting it right into the Lesser Antilles, so the Eastern Caribbean needs to be on alert. This is for next midweek. We're still talking about nearly a week away, and what happens with the computer models after this diverge quite a bit, so you're going to have to be patient with us to see where it goes after, but we've got our eyes on what could be Gabrielle as well, guys.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Of course, the weather did impact the game last night, Eagles versus the Cowboys. Larry's got all the highlights.
Yeah, what a game, right, to start the NFL season, but isn't this exactly what football fans want? Like a great reality show, the Eagles and the Cowboys delivered the drama from that first snap to the last seconds of the game. But in the end, the Super Bowl champs walked away with bragging rights, winning 24-20.
This morning, football is back.
Jalen Hurts for the second time tonight.
And so is one of the most contentious rivalries in the league.
Number 98's defense actions has disqualified him from the game. Whoa.
The first flag of the season happening before the first snap of the season. Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter ejected 6 seconds into the game after spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott.
Did he spit on him? I think he did.
Dallas capitalizing on the loss of Carter for the Eagles defense.
It's open for CeeDee Lamb.
Scoring on their first drive.
Into the end zone for the season's first touchdown.
But the defending Super Bowl champs answering with their own touchdown.
Hurts has time, takes off, Jalen Hurts, touchdown Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts, a one-man show, finishing the night with 62 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries. Fans at watch parties across the country going wild. Tensions running high throughout the game. Teams trading blows and scores.
Inside for the touchdown.
And fans rewarded with Philly's infamous tush push.
First down, Philadelphia, of course, tush push.
The game stretching past midnight, both teams looking fatigued. Dallas going for it on 4th down with 2 minutes to go. But the Cowboys were unable to convert, and in the end, the Eagles soared to their first win of the season.
In this league, it's very challenging, especially in these first games. They tend to come down to the wire. It's always good to get a win.
It is always good to get a win, and congrats to the Eagles. And this season, the Kansas City Chiefs, they would love to get a fourth straight Super Bowl appearance. They're playing tonight. They take on the Los Angeles Chargers in Brazil, and it's the battle of the MVPs on Sunday night. Josh Allen and his Buffalo Bills face off against the Baltimore Ravens and their Lamar Jackson. Football is back, and we are here for it, Michael.
A lot of great early season games. I can tell that week one game. What about the U.S. Open? A lot of great tennis.
I was watching it. I'm a little tie-tied today. Jess Pegula and Amanda Anisimova played their hearts out trying to advance to the U.S. Open final. Pegula was right there against top seed Arina Sabalenka, splitting the first two sets, fighting Sabalenka in the third, but in the end, Sabalenka shut out the crowd, the noise, rooting for Pegula so hard. She closed it out, winning the third set 6-4. In the other match, Amanda Anisimova struggling against Naomi Osaka in the first, but it was a battle that ended with Osaka winning in a tiebreak in that first set. Anisimova answered, though. She found her footing, winning the next two sets to win the match. This is Anisimova's second straight Grand Slam final. She did it at Wimbledon as well. Now she takes on Sabalenka tomorrow for the title. It happens on ESPN, guys.
Yeah, it's great. We got a woman, a U.S. woman, in the U.S. Open final.
And then there was one, and we're so happy to have her there.
That's some great matches.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Larry. You'll be at the final?
I will not. I'll be watching it, taking notes for us.
We'll be in the same place, watching it on TV. That's right. All right, coming up, we have my exclusive with Charlie Sheen. This morning, what he's sharing for the first time more than a decade after his very public meltdown on his sex life, drug abuse, and getting sober.
Such a revealing conversation there. Also ahead, the 8-year-old boy bitten by a shark, now back home, and the crucial thing a good Samaritan and the boy's father did to help save him.
And Larry's a big surprise overnight in Play of the Day.
Yeah, those Eagles, that had a lot to celebrate. And Philly's own Kylie Kelsey helped surprise one young fan on the team's big night.
Coming up, we have our 50 States and 50 Weeks tour in Virginia. Ginger's with the hometown heroes. They are on a mission. You stay right there, and we will be right back.
1, 2, 3. Good. No.
Welcome back to GMA. Yes, a very memorable scene from Dirty Dancing. That's how you learn the moves. That movie has a big connection to our 50 States and 50 Weeks stop tour later this morning.
That is coming up. First new at 7:30. Former President Joe Biden, you see the picture right there, has had a common procedure used to treat skin cancer after he was seen with a bandage on his scalp. In May, it was revealed that Biden had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. He's been out and about. He attended church services over Labor Day weekend near his Delaware home. Also, new video shows the deadly Portugal streetcar crash as officials have identified the victims killed after the popular tourist attraction sped out of control crashed into a building. 1 American and 2 Canadians are among the dead, more than 20 other people injured. Investigators are still working to determine what went wrong. Michael, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, George had a chance to sit down with Charlie, and what an interview it was, because he's been in the spotlight for decades, from movies and TV to his life off camera to his very public meltdown more than a decade ago. Well, now he's writing about his life in a new memoir, and Charlie is not holding back. You ready?
I am, yes. How about you?
I don't know. Charlie Sheen has been making headlines for 40 years, from his hard-partying image and show business family to his high-profile relationships and record-breaking salary demands. But there are some things you talk about you've never shared before, publicly.
Correct, yeah.
Now the ultimate Hollywood bad boy is chronicling it all in a new memoir, The Book of Sheen.
Yeah, I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
What do you think when you look back then? Do you recognize yourself?
I don't know who that is. And that's not a cop-out. Or I don't know what part of me that came from. It's weird. It's like there's a possession going on. I'm like, kind of pleading with that version of me to just, dude, God, stop.
You have any regrets?
I do, but I can't, there's no value in them. I guess the only way to deal with it is just to not ever do anything or allow myself to wind up in a situation where that's a message I want to send to the world in that capacity. Because there's probably a lot of people out there that still only know me from those viral clips, a guy screaming tiger blood and winning and all this other nonsense, right? And not set the record straight, but say, no, that was a moment in a really long career where things just went off the freaking rails.
From his first major role in the Best Picture winning Platoon,
You ever get caught in a mistake that you just can't get out of?
to becoming the highest paid sitcom star while on 2.5 Men.
Hey, after you drop him off at his mom's, you want to see a movie?
Sure, that sounds good.
Cool. Enjoy.
Behind the scenes, he indulged in an escalating cascade of drugs and sex. You are very frank about your sex life.
Right.
From hiring sex workers.
Right.
You testified against Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss. You admitted you spent $53,000 for her services.
Well, that's what they knew of.
Yeah.
That's what they had on the book. So.
But do you think you were a sex addict?
I mean, sure, probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if to frame it like that, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you say sex went hand in hand with your drug use.
It did, yeah.
And wanting to try, as you framed it, quote, other side of the menu, which for some people out there, man, what's the other side of the menu? That's sleeping with men. But you said you're being honest about it now. But why did you keep it secret for so long?
Sure. Yeah. Because there was another element to it that it did come with a tremendous amount of extortion. And so at the time I was just like, all right, let's just pay to keep it quiet and just hope it just stays over there, make it go away, just make it go away. And then.
So you were just paying people not to.
Yeah, because they would have had video things or whatever and had stuff over me, so that was kind of held hostage, and it's just that's a bad feeling. But again, that's not what I led with. I just led with, all right, people talked about this and this thing and whatever, and so I just need to be free of that, and then see how the world feels if people know that stuff. Because I've written a story all these years about, oh, geez, if I ever reveal that, then this has to be how I'd be dealt with, how I'd be treated, how they'd feel.
In 2015, Sheen publicly revealed that he was HIV positive.
That was a tremendous relief. That felt like, okay, all right, there's that. Now I can focus on some other things.
That was 10 years ago.
That was 2015, you're right.
So how you feeling now?
I feel pretty good.
Sheen says he stopped using drugs in 2015 and that he has now been completely sober for nearly 8 years. What was the final straw?
It was, my body was starting to reject it. I talk about that in the book, literally like turning inside out. That was a mess.
Your kids.
Yeah.
Cassandra, you were 19 when you had her with your high school sweetheart. And then you have the two daughters, Sammy, who's 21, Lola's 20 with Denise.
Yeah.
And you have twin sons, Bob and Max.
Bob and Max,
with Brooke.
yeah.
How have your relationship with your children evolved as your sobriety has evolved over the last 8 years you've been sober?
We have relationships, and we have legitimate ones, and they really have nothing to do with anything that I do for a living. Because, up to a certain age, kids have no interest. Well, you probably know. They don't care about, what your ratings are.
They just want a father.
Yeah.
Your daughter, Sammy, she's spoken about a rift between you two.
Yes.
How's your relationship these days?
I feel like as long as everybody's still in the game, there's always a shot for a better tomorrow, Yep. I don't really know what I did. That's the problem. I don't know what I'm supposed to yet apologize for, but I have absolute faith that it's not a forever thing, and her and I will work it out. We have a history of that. That's too valuable to let some moment destroy all of that. Yeah.
The book is called The Book of Sheen. It's the first title he came up with and never changed. They tried to find new ones that were better, but he said this one just fit. It is out on Tuesday. We're going to have much more of my interview with Charlie on Monday, and he's going to share, other parts of his past that he's kept a secret. And he's going to talk about his long career.
He gave really thoughtful answers.
Yeah, very thoughtful, very honest and open, George, and they had the book and the documentary, and they are really riveting, really amazing.
You covered a lot of terrain there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Now with the latest on an 8-year-old boy who was bitten by a shark while snorkeling. He's out of the hospital this morning, and Victor Oquendo is in Miami with the story. And Victor, a good Samaritan, and that boy's father made a critical decision to help save his leg.
That's right. Good morning, Rebecca. In the moments right after the shark bite, they quickly tied tourniquets to that boy's leg, and doctors say that made all the difference in the world. Now Richard Burroughs is recovering at home, and he should be running around in a matter of weeks.
This morning, the 8-year-old boy bitten by a shark in the Florida Keys on Monday is back home after 3 days in the hospital.
With a kid with the just can-do attitude that this kiddo has, that it's probably only going to be like a 6 to 8 week period of time before he's out running around on a soccer field again.
The Burroughs family was snorkeling off Key Largo when a black-tipped shark bit young Richard just above his knee and on his arm. The boy's father calling 911.
How bad is the bite? It's bad. Is he awake and breathing still? Yeah, he's breathing.
A good Samaritan then helping tie tourniquets and rushing the boy to first responders as Richard's 10-year-old sister, Rose, helped elevate his leg.
Hold his leg up like this. Keep his leg up.
The boy was then airlifted to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he underwent hours of surgery requiring hundreds of stitches. Doctors saying those tourniquets made all the difference.
He lost a lot of blood, and he would have lost a lot more if somebody that wasn't there to quickly apply a tourniquet.
In a statement, the Burroughs family saying Richard is recovering well from his surgery and is gaining strength by the day. He is in good spirits. Our hope is that he will be back enjoying his passion for the ocean and marine life with his older sister in no time.
That good Samaritan, his name is Rick Hayden, writing to ABC News overnight, saying in part, I hope Richard's recovery is swift and smooth. I wish his sister and father strength in processing such a difficult experience. Together they showed courage, resilience, and love for one another. That is truly inspiring.
It
Guys,
is. Thank you,
really
Victor.
is.
Play of the daytime. We've been teasing it all morning. Fun night in Philly.
Yeah, really, really nice. So Kylie Kelsey and husband Jason were on the field for last night's big game in Philadelphia. And right before it, Kylie and the team had a surprise for an adorable 5-year-old boy, inviting him onto the field for an unforgettable celebration.
It was a big night for the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Touchdown, Philadelphia!
Celebrating last season's win during the pregame ceremony. With the help of a few special guests.
Do you think that piggy wants to go down to the field? Yeah. Let's do it.
Kylie Kelsey surprising 5-year-old Billy, who she met through her work at the Eagles Autism Foundation, giving him the chance to come celebrate on the field with his real-life heroes.
The Eagles organization is synonymous with Eagles Autism Foundation and the work that they're doing, putting funds behind projects that are impacting the autism community every single day.
Kylie first met Billy at an Eagles practice last year. That moment going viral, now with over 6 million views.
Did you pick those out yourself?
Billy, who has autism, soaking it all in from the field, dancing with the Eagles mascot, surrounded by others from the autism community.
Billy is such a special kid. Watching his face and how he interacted with the joy he was feeling, you can almost feel it through him. And I know as kids, having 4 of my own, they just want to have fun and enjoy the moment.
Talking about her 4 daughters, Kylie shared that they were very excited to hear the recent news that they would be getting a very cool new aunt.
The girls are thrilled. They're so excited they're getting another aunt, and we could not be more excited for them and what the future holds. We love, and we love Taylor and Trav.
And we love the Eagles Autism Foundation. They have raised $40 million since 2018. And you can bet Billy loved every minute of his experience. He is a hardcore Eagles fan. Since he could talk, his mom says his first words were, "Go Birds."
Okay, that's great.
Sorry to tell you.
It won me over with that one. Way to go.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, Lara. And thank you to the Eagles for doing that for Billy. That's really sweet. Coming up, Ginger. She's cooking up something special in Virginia for 50 states in 50 weeks. Ginger, what's going on out there?
Oh, I'm here in a mobile kitchen in Portsmouth with Christina, with Gary from Mercy Chefs. So this is their headquarters, but they bring mobile kitchens like this all over the world. We're making sweet potato pancakes this morning, and this would usually be going to, and will be this morning, a community in need. Someone who's just had a disaster. Cannot wait to show you the great work that these folks do coming up.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. overnight. Extreme weather on both coasts. Lightning delays the Eagles-Cowboys season opener in Philadelphia. Ginger tracking it all.
The fashion world remembering one of its biggest icons. This morning, a look at the life and legacy of Giorgio Armani, his impact on Hollywood. An Armani suit?
Take the suit.
And the countless stars he dressed. Julia, Leo, Viola, and beyond.
Virginia's hometown heroes on a mission. Our 50 States in 50 Weeks tour is in Virginia.
We want to be in the heart of the need.
With the chefs on the scene when disaster strikes, Ginger is there showing us why there's a lot of love about state number 10.
And we're saying,
Good morning, America!
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
Good morning, America. Good morning, Virginia. We can't wait to hear all about the incredible volunteers that Ginger is hanging out with this morning. It is our 10th stop in our 50 States in 50 Weeks countdown to the country's 250th birthday.
Right there in Virginia where the heart of the need is. Also ahead, we haven't even hit Halloween yet, but we'll tell you why the holidays may be scary this year and ways that you can get the most for your money.
First look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the weather on both coasts. Ginger, of course, is tracking, including some tropical threats. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, so anybody who's an Eagles fan knows that the win came at a little bit of labor because they had to pause because of lightning last night, that first NFL game, and the lightning worked, right? The lightning was happening. They got everybody out. Everybody was safe, but it was a real late end to the game. Go Birds for all the fans out there. But I do want to mention there were also monsoon storms, and back in Phoenix, you saw dust being kicked up, not just at the airport, but in the city too. They desperately need rain, a lot of drought out there. Then we watched the drought monitor intensify yesterday. We got more moisture coming from the remnants of Lorena and also some tropical moisture from the Atlantic. But Hurricane Kiko is what we have our eye on. It's really strong right now, but it will weaken as it approaches the Hawaiian Islands and looks like that as a tropical storm passes just north of Maui. You can see it there by Tuesday night. So we're watching those models really closely. Either way, it's going to be high surf, big time rip currents. And I do want to take you over to the Atlantic because we've got new information on what will likely be Gabrielle by the weekend. I'd say if you're in the Lesser Antilles, that Eastern Caribbean, even Puerto Rico, watch this closely for next midweek. We're still about a week away. And then what happens after is the computer models diverge pretty considerably. So you're going to have to be patient with us. By next early week, we'll have a much more clear picture and we'll update you guys.
All right, Ginger, and we're looking forward to catching up with you and those great volunteers in a few minutes as well. We're going to turn now to holiday shopping. The calendar still says summer, but retailers already have their eyes on the holidays, which could mean it might mean some deals for you. Elizabeth Scholze is back with what to expect and the strategies to get those very best deals. Nice to see you again.
It does mean some deals for all of us. And, you know, back to school season just ended, but we're already gearing up for the holidays. And part of the reason why is because there is a report out showing some concern that consumers may be not so merry and bright about this holiday shopping this year. PwC expects holiday spending to drop by 5% compared to last year. A big reason for that decline, Gen Z, they're expected to cut spending by 23%. We know they're facing challenging jobs market, prices overall that are still going up. PwC is saying that 78% of shoppers are looking to buy alternatives to products that are less expensive. So Google searches for discount, coupon code, up 11% this year. Really, the word of the season for a lot of these retailers is going to be value, getting you those deals.
I need to let my kids know that their group is dropping by 23% so that they can fall into their program.
That's right. Get in line.
So Elizabeth, what is the shopping strategy people should have to save?
So one strategy does revolve around taking advantage of these deals earlier and earlier every year. It's why we're talking about the holidays in September. So 80% of people in this survey expect that, or 80% of holiday shopping will be done this year by Cyber Monday. So getting the list checked off sooner. Generally, if you see something that's a must-have on your list, and you want it and you see that it's on sale, you do not want to wait too long to buy. We know that a lot of retailers did stock up in advance on inventory to avoid paying higher tariffs, but that doesn't mean that they have an unlimited supply of products. One thing you might do, put your gift list in your cart on Amazon, Target, Walmart. Always want to price shop. Just monitor that cart, keep looking at it, and if you see the discount, that's when you move it in. Maybe you click buy then.
Good idea. All right, great advice. Save some money. Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. And coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, we're celebrating the life and legacy of fashion designer Giorgio Armani.
All said, one of the busiest people in the business, Stephen A. Smith, is here giving us his thoughts on the NFL season opener, the upcoming NBA season, and his 2 new shows.
Excellent. Plus, Ginger is being put to work by the volunteers at Mercy Chefs in Virginia, the latest stop in our 50 States in 50-week series. And Lara is with Lori Bergamato.
I sure am, and if you're looking to give your kitchen an upgrade, this is your gal. Lori's got all the right stuff, from cast iron skillets to storage containers, air fryers, and the best part is, and this is important, all plastic free. Loving this. It's coming up right here on Good Morning America.
Back now with our GMA cover story on acclaimed fashion designer Giorgio Armani, who died at 91. Known for dressing some of Hollywood's brightest stars, Larry's here with his look at his life and incredible legacy.
An incredible legacy, Michael, yeah. Long before the phrase quiet luxury was a term used among the fashionable set, Giorgio Armani had mastered it. He was also a force in Hollywood, creating some of the most memorable looks on the red carpet, and also remembered to take care of real people, creating a line of clothing that was both aspirational and affordable. And that's how Giorgio Armani made one of the most successful luxury brands in the world. He was a fashion visionary. Giorgio Armani, the Italian-born designer, passing away at his home in Milan. The company he founded saying he passed away peacefully, surrounded by his loved ones. The designer, known for his exquisite taste in luxurious clothing, fragrances, and accessories, he built an empire from the ground up, starting in 1975, soon becoming a household name.
An Armani suit?
Take the suit.
Armani was made for Hollywood, first dressing Richard Gere in American Gigolo.
Hey, pretty lady.
Hi.
Got my other jacket?
Then Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard, and Leo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Now, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit.
And he was omnipresent on the red carpet, his gowns always a fixture on Hollywood's biggest nights. From Cate Blanchett to Viola Davis to Gaga and Anne Hathaway, to name just a few. And now, a half-century later, Armani's company employs 8,000 people across 3 distinct brands. In his final interview, just published last week, Armani reflected on his legacy, saying, "If what I created 50 years ago is still appreciated by an audience that wasn't even born at the time, this is the ultimate reward." Giorgio Armani was 91 years old. Julia Roberts posting on Instagram, quite simply, a true friend, a legend with a capital L, and what a legend he was.
Oh,
he sure was.
Looking at those gowns, what talent he had.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, thank you, Lara.
We are welcoming our friend Stephen A. Smith to the couch. He's the host of ESPN's First Take, 2 new radio shows, The Stephen A. Smith Show and Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see y'all. How y'all doing?
Want to get to all the projects, but let's start out with last night's game. What'd you think?
No surprise at the outcome. I knew the Dallas Cowboys would lose, but they were far more competitive than I expected them to be. Their offense is big time. Their defense, not so much. But ultimately, the better team won. We'll see what happens as the season progresses.
What did you think of the contentious beginning of the game?
Well, I thought that, even though, the guy Jalen Carter was provoked by Dak Prescott, who spit in the ground, the fact is you got to be more responsible than that. And to get yourself ejected on opening night before a play takes place. It was immature, it was irresponsible, and he almost cost his team the game because they didn't get a single sack all night. And if he was out there, that was his primary responsibility.
What does the team do about that after something?
Oh, you check him. You look him in the face and you say, don't do something that's stupid again.
Yeah.
You owe us. We need you out there. You're that valuable to us. When you do something like that, it's about you. It's not about the team, and that's not tolerable.
Yeah. Hey, can I switch gears, talk basketball?
Sure.
Do our Knicks have a shot this year? How do you think they're looking?
I'm on Good Morning America. I got to say this.
I'm sorry.
I think the New York Knicks I think the New York Knicks are going to the finals.
Come on! Oh, you tricked me.
Jason Tatum, torn Achilles. Damian Lillard tore his Achilles when he was in Milwaukee. Now he's back in Portland, so Milwaukee's not the same. Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles for Indiana, and Miles Turner is no longer there. So you got three major components standing in the way of the New York Knicks that are no longer there. Cleveland and a couple other teams are something to be worried about. Yep. But I think the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
Heard it here, yes. The man has spoken.
I didn't say they'd win. But I did say I think they're going.
That's all right. I'll take
I think
that.
they're going.
I'll take that.
I think they're going.
Tell us about the new radio shows.
Well, listen, I'm back on radio, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 82, every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it gets re-aired from 6 to 8 p.m. I've done radio for ESPN, for Fox, for Mad Dog Sports Radio in the past, but I love doing radio. I love interacting with the callers and what have you, so it's really, really good to be back. I'm doing it from my own studio that I have here in New York City as well, so that's really, really special to me. And then I got a political show that debuts September 17th, The Straight Shooter with Stephen A. I've been dabbling in politics. I'm no George Stephanopoulos. I'm not on that level. I'm not on that level. But I love it. It's always been a fascination for me. I mean, people don't realize this about me, but other than the Super Bowl, my Super Bowl are presidential debates. I love them.
Wow.
I love them. And so I love talking about that stuff. I'm not an aficionado, but I'm very curious. I'm a conscientious observer. I'm an American. I'm a voter. I care. And I like talking about the issues, and I like talking to the people that are impacting American lives. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity on Sirius XM on a weekly basis. And I hope that that's going to
it's a nice change of pace for you, right?
I love it. You know what? This is the crazy thing. It has me loving sports even more. Because to step away from sports and to do other things like this political show, when I get back to doing sports on a daily basis, I'm excited about that as well. So the key is being excited and not feeling like you're doing a job every day. It's like an adventure. Your job is doing what you have to do to maintain or elevate your quality of life. A career is doing what you want to do, and it just so happens to do those things. And that's what I have. I have a career. I thoroughly enjoy what I'm doing.
Well, you can tell I'm a huge fan of yours in all arenas, but there's something about you on the radio when I listen to you. I don't know if you feel a little more freedom.
Oh, definitely free. I mean, it's mine.
It's electric to listen to you.
I just feel like you're at my mercy. It's like, you know, here I am. It's the microphone. It's the camera. It's me. I'm not running from the callers. Yep. I'm not hiding. Yeah, you got something to say. You want to chirp at me. You thought you wanted a piece of this. I got news for you. You might not. Here I am. I like that. I like that kind of ambiance to it. So I
didn't know what it was. Now you've explained it. I understand. So who are the dream guests for these shows?
Well, I mean, for me personally, I mean, I've been talking to my man Michael Jordan. I'm like, man, you got to give me an interview, bro. You got to come on. You got to come on my show. We know he's the GOAT, and I love him to death, and so hopefully he's going to come on. Of course, I've interviewed Tom Brady in the past, but looking forward to talking to him again for the football season. And on the politics side, I want to sit down with Barack Obama for an hour. I want to sit down with President Trump for an hour. I want these folks to sit across from me and have a conversation. I think it would be very, very interesting, and I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
All right.
So feelers are happening.
Something like that. Something like that.
You can listen to the Stephen A. Smith Show Monday through Friday at 1 Eastern. Straight Shooter with Stephen A. debuts September 17th at 6 Eastern, both on Sirius XM. Thanks for coming in.
Thank y'all for having me.
So great to see you.
Good to see you.
Rebecca?
Well, I don't want Stephen to be surprised when he gets a call from Michael from New York.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
It's not me.
We're going to go now to 50 states in 50 weeks. America the Beautiful, our countdown to the country's 250th anniversary. And this morning we hit double digits with a visit to the 10th state to join the Union, Virginia. Ginger is there in the city of Portsmouth. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Rebecca, Virginia has so many things to be proud of, and one of them is right here in Portsmouth. We are at the headquarters of Mercy Chefs with this amazing line of volunteers this morning. They're working hard. This is a nonprofit that serves restaurant-quality meals to people in need after emergencies, natural disasters all over the world, but also right here in their community. You got to see what they do.
From the hard-hitting hurricane in North Carolina to catastrophic flooding in Central Texas, when disaster strikes, Virginia hometown heroes Mercy Chefs is on the scene, providing carefully crafted hot meals for those who need it most.
Thank you so much.
We think our obligation is to go where there's the greatest need. We want to be in the heart of the need.
Spurred to action after witnessing the widespread devastation of Hurricane Katrina in his hometown of New Orleans, Chef Gary LeBlanc and his wife, Anne, founded Mercy Chefs in 2006.
The only thing I could do that would make a difference was to go down and cook. So I went down and volunteered.
It is phenomenal what happens. It's something so simple. There's love in those boxes.
Headquartered in Portsmouth, the mission is simple. Just go feed people.
I've always been in this area. I just realized, wow, we can use these kitchens when we're not in disaster to help. I said, you know, Gary, you can throw a rock and hit a hungry kid right here in our backyard.
Their bustling community kitchen, staffed completely with volunteers, often partnering with fellow community nonprofits.
They might be doing after school or elder care or battered women programs, but they don't have a food component. So for us to add food to what they're doing, sort of that rising tide lifts all boats.
Tidewater Youth Services works with children in foster care and offers an educational cooking program through its connection with Mercy Chefs.
Coming into the kitchen is just magical. Not only are they learning something, but they're also being exposed to a safe place where they know that they're getting nourishment emotionally and physically.
They are an integral part of uplifting our citizens in our community, and we are so grateful to have them here in the city of Portsmouth.
Mercy Chefs has served more than 30 million meals at home and abroad since its founding.
We always say amazing things happen over a shared meal, and we get to do that with people on their worst day. We love the things that you'd eat at home with your family. We love the things that mom would cook for you, that grandmom would cook for you. Those are the things that we want to provide. I love them.
And how lucky are we? We get to be live here with Gary and Anne LeBlanc. So good to have you. And we just learned a lot about what you've done. But I've got to say, learning and seeing you out in the field often. Gary, tell me, you know, you do kids with autism classes. You've got so many programs that go beyond this. Why is food the perfect vehicle to help people?
Amazing things happen when you share a meal. You know, we do it as family, we do it as friends, but we often get to do it with people who've just had the worst day of their life. And for us to be able to go in that moment and share a beautiful, beautiful chef-prepared meal, it's all we can do to bring some hope and some dignity and a little way forward for people.
You do it on the order of 30 million meals served, and 20 years now that you've done this work. Can you just give us one anecdote, one story that sticks out to you of the reaction of someone that you've helped?
Well, I know there was a mom, and she was pregnant, and she had her kid, like 3 other kids in the car, and you know, I handed her meals and just said, how are you holding up? And she just burst into tears. Yeah. And there's just nothing like a warm meal. She was able to feed her family that day and not worry about what am I going to do for everyone? How am I going to feed this baby inside me? And there's just really nothing more rewarding than seeing that face light up. And it's a moment of normalcy. So in the midst of disaster or in the midst of difficulties in their lives, out of our community kitchens.
Many faces light up because of you too, and that's why we are celebrating these folks this morning, but we're not the only ones celebrating you. I'd like to invite someone over. Governor, please come over. That's right. Hey. Governor Glenn Youngkin of here in Virginia is joining us.
How are you?
And he also wants to celebrate Mercy Chefs. I know you all know each other a little bit. Do you want to come right here?
Yeah, I will. How are you?
Hi, it's great to see you.
I thought you might hang glide in this morning.
Not this time.
Okay.
That's what we do together next. I know you have something special because you also want to celebrate Mercy Chefs.
I do. First of all, I just want to thank Good Morning America for recognizing the extraordinary work and that goes on here at Mercy Chefs and to allowing me to be part of celebrating Gary and Ann LeBlanc. I mean, the work that goes on at Mercy Chefs changes lives forever and meets people at their most extraordinary point of need.
Most certainly.
And they have responded to disasters all over America and all over the world. They serve up to 20,000 meals a day to victims, to first responders, and of course to volunteers. They change lives, and so thank you. By the way, that's on top of over 30 million meals they've served to communities around Portsmouth and Virginia. And so the mission of this place just inspires the hearts, and I think Gary lives it every day with Ann and the entire team, which is just go feed people.
Right.
How about that? Just go feed people. So I have the great honor today of presenting Gary and Ann and our teams here at Mercy Chef with a proclamation that declares today Mercy Chef's Day in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Thank you so much. Gary, Ann, I'm sure this means a lot to you. It does. Thank you so much, Governor. We're so glad to have you all. All the volunteers, thank you so much. Rebecca, we did it. Mercy Chefs will keep serving and we will keep smiling. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Absolutely, Ginger. The word that keeps coming back to me is nourishment, body and soul. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Mercy Chefs. And you can tell us what makes your state great by scanning that QR code on the screen. And Ginger's going to be back with more from Virginia coming up. Next, we're taking you behind the scenes of Wheel of Fortune, the brand new season.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
Good morning, America. Still not strong.
Spin that wheel, yes. Welcome back to GMA. And this morning, you may want to buy a vowel because Wheel of Fortune is back. The beloved game show is returning for a new season, and Trevor Alt went behind the scenes with Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, Ryan and Vanna were kind enough to take us behind the scenes as they taped the first episode of this new season. And we talked about how the show still manages to stay fun and fresh, what former host Pat Sajak is up to, and the one thing they're really hoping happens this year. Give it a big spin.
All right, here we go.
America's favorite game show is back.
How frequently do you get to spin the wheel?
I did it once, and that was the only time. It didn't go far.
No.
I didn't put my leg into it. And you know the clicking sound, there are rubber bands like you used to have with orthodontia on your teeth.
Oh.
That's what makes the clicking.
The
The rubber bands are in there
that's
somewhere.
right. I can see it.
Yeah, right there.
In here.
Do you know I never knew that?
Well, welcome to season 43.
Yeah, you're going to really like it here.
Yeah.
And that is it. Congratulations. Want to see it? Ryan Seacrest returning for his second season hosting. For Vanna White, it's her 43rd.
You've become this kind of institution, but it seems like none of the energy has worn off. It still seems like you're just really happy to do the job. Is that right?
I am. I love coming to work every day. It's always fun.
Yeah.
And you never know what's going to happen.
And the night keeps getting better. Did you say he found his footing pretty quickly?
Definitely. Yeah, he did his homework before he came, and the transition was amazing. He just slipped right in like you've been doing it forever.
I'd seen it before, but thank you.
That's true.
Seacrest has settled in after stepping into the shoes of longtime host Pat Sajak, who retired last year after more than 8,000 shows.
And you saw Pat recently.
Yes, I did. Yes, he was in a play, and I was so impressed. How does he memorize all those lines? And he's a good actor, too.
He left me a voicemail that somehow I missed for several weeks. And I finally found it. But he left me a very thoughtful, wonderful voicemail. Yeah.
We were there for the first taping of the new season, the beginning of a very busy schedule.
Wheel of Fortune has a famously packed shooting schedule, 195 episodes a season, doing 6 episodes a day. And of course, all of them are in front of the live studio audience.
It'd be great to give away $1 million this season. I will tell you that. It's been sort of my goal since
it has
started.
I feel it. It's got to happen. It's going to happen, right? Yeah. Think positive.
And this year, they'll also be taping with some familiar faces, with Ryan's first time hosting Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
You think you'll approach it any differently with celebrities?
Yeah, it's a little. The show's a little bit different, but I understand you can have not more fun, but it's a different kind of fun. There's more time.
It is,
right?
and they're relaxed, and they're used to being in front of the camera.
I don't
and
think
it's just a party.
And after 40 years, countless vowels bought and puzzles solved,
Bargain hunting.
That's it!
they say Wheel of Fortune feels as fresh and fun as ever.
Solving puzzles, playing games. Everybody grows up playing games. We're still playing games.
That's true. It's a game that everyone can play, too.
That is true. And people learn the alphabet, you know, and the whole, it's a family fun.
And as far as Vanna's future with the program that made her a household name, she's not slowing down anytime soon.
Still feel good about your decision to stick around here?
Absolutely, I do. I'm not ready to retire.
I mean,
I'm having too much fun.
And for a show that's been around for more than 40 years, there's also a big change happening this season. After episodes air, they will be available for streaming the next day on Hulu. The season premiere is on Monday. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune premieres September 26th. Guys.
All right, a lot of exciting news there. I'm looking forward to that.
Friend Tamron Hall kicking off the 7th season of her Emmy-winning talk show. Good morning, welcome back.
Good morning. I'm happy to see you're not stuck on an elevator.
Yes, I got my claim to fame this summer. So 7 seasons, that is quite a milestone. How does it feel?
It feels so good. I mean, I'm back for my annual, we're kicking off our season premiere conversation with you, but it's surreal. I was walking by a restaurant recently and our show was on and I thought, that's me, that's my, it still pinched me moment. So we got season 7 starting Monday and I'm just beyond excited.
What can you tell us about it?
Oh my gosh, you know what? I said to myself, season 7 means complete, right? The number is complete, but we're not done. I want like season 15, season 20, but this season really is digging into the conversation. Podcasts have become the new talk shows, as you know. And so we're trying to balance the bigness of traditional daytime, but bringing in more intimate, exclusive conversations where people are revealing their truth. It's not just performance, it's conversation. We have an exclusive daytime conversation with Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, their first since marrying the Chrisleys, their first daytime interview since being released from prison. I really want to break down that wall of performance and get to the heart of the conversation. And one that I'm really excited about, you know, I talked about being an IVF mom, and we have the oldest embryo turned to a live birth. A 30-year-old embryo is now a little boy named Thaddeus, a 1-month-old, and we speak with the family and the donor exclusively.
And that's going to make a big difference to a lot of
people. Why am I nervous when I talk to you? I'm like all breathy. Can someone give me some water? That's how I am still not used to, after over 1,000 shows, that this is my life. I am shaking.
How is that possible? You're on TV every day.
I'm giving Wednesday Addams on a Friday and I'm shaking in here. But I'm still like that kid at heart that this is my job, but I get to interview some of the most interesting people in the world.
And you're bringing in Priscilla Presley as well?
Wait a minute, you don't understand. This is like a bucket list moment for me. Priscilla Presley coming on. I believe she's had one of the most iconic lives that you can think of. And she's coming on to talk about the loss, not only of course, Elvis, but her daughter, and the resilience it takes to build a name like that and to keep the legacy going. And I think she's one of the most fascinating people.
What's your favorite part of doing the show?
Oh wow, you know, the Tam Fam. I get to walk out to this audience of people in studio and at home, and when I'm walking around our city, or I just got back from Chicago, and people say to me, I'm Tam Fam. That makes me feel so good, because my joy is to bring together people from all walks of life, no matter who you are, where you live, and that you feel collectively a part of something. That to me means more than anything in the world. And I'm also proud that my kid gets to see that this is what his mom did.
I was going to ask you about Moses. School started in New York this week. How's he doing?
The first year that my son did not fall out in front of the school and clutch to my ankles, he walked in. He's in the 1st grade. That's him at a book signing. We had our book Harlem Honey that came out and made the New York Times bestseller list. Right. And he finally this summer did a book signing with me. But yeah, he's in the 1st grade. And I truly feel like this kid from Luling, Texas has the luckiest life, that I have a beautiful family. I get to hang out with folks like you at GMA and get to walk into this building and do a talk show.
And you're sharing it with so many.
Oh gosh.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Tamron Hall airs weekdays. Check your local listings. Go to TamronHallShow.com for times and channels.
All right, we're going to go back to Ginger, who's putting on her other hat in Portsmouth, Virginia for our 50 States in 50 Weeks series. And Ginger, you have some more fun facts about the Old Dominion state.
You know, they say Virginia is for lovers, but there's a lot to love about this state. We're going to show you just some of those things in 90 seconds.
From the coasts of the Chesapeake Bay and Virginia Beach to the more than 500-mile stretch of the Appalachian Trail, the Old Dominion state is steeped in legacy and tradition. A landmark for hard-fought independence, the Battle of Yorktown was the decisive major victory that ended the American Revolution. Joining the Union as state number 10 on June 25, 1788, VA has birthed more U.S. presidents than any other state, earning the nickname the Mother of Presidents.
Our new Miss United States is...
It's produced Hollywood royalty, too, like Sandra Bullock. And the iconic vacation resort featured in Dirty Dancing, where guests of the Mountain Lake Lodge can still have the time of their lives during the Dirty Dancing weekend events.
That's it, and he's done it.
The state is also home to trailblazers like tennis legend Arthur Ashe, the first black man to win both the U.S. Open and Wimbledon tennis championships.
The Flight brothers lift the hooks up. Oh!
And cultural trendsetters like Allen Iverson.
Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly.
Missy Elliott.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
And Pharrell Williams. So whether you're testing wine in the vineyards of Charlottesville or relaxing on the Atlantic shores that make VA the oyster capital of the East Coast, with so much to offer, it's no wonder Virginia is for lovers.
But there is a reason we are shining a light on Portsmouth, Virginia right now, because we are here at the headquarters of Mercy Chefs, where the volunteers have gotten some of their work done, and so they're doing what they normally do, and that's adding the energy. A conga line to keep everybody pumping those boxes full of food. We absolutely love Christina, all of the volunteers that have come out this morning, and to pack that food for the communities nearby, but also around the globe. Rebecca, I'm going to join the conga line. I got to go.
I thought you might do that, Ginger. Such great stuff from there in Virginia. Thank you. And next week, we are in GMA's home state, New York, and we will be live at Niagara Falls. And coming up here, Lori B is here with the right stuff to help make your kitchen plastic-free.
Dancing, that's right. Friday fun in the kitchen with the right stuff, and Lori Bergamato, who's bringing us great items. Hi, everyone. Here I am. She's bringing us great items for the kitchen, and they're all plastic free, which is so important.
It's so important.
I'm like really thinking about this all the time now.
I think we all are.
And living in a little bit of fear, so thank you for demystifying it.
Exactly. You know, microplastics, we keep hearing about it, we keep talking about it. There are a lot of very easy, affordable, safe swaps you can make in the kitchen. So
starting right here.
We'll start right here. This is from the Lodge, Lara, and this is, if you have one of those
cast iron.
It's cast iron. If you have one of those nonsticks that's starting to peel a little bit, it's time to get rid of it, right? And what's great about these, first of all, the Lodge has been in business since 1896. So when you're cooking with one of their pans, it's with heritage, it's with heft. You can see they come in a bunch of different sizes, so no matter what you're cooking, you can use these. They're pre-seasoned. We found them at Williams-Sonoma, and these are safe. They can go in the oven.
That's great.
They can go on your stovetop, so you can really cook every meal with those.
Okay,
I love that.
And
okay, this, we were
simple.
talking about this in the production office the other day, and people were like, wait, I have to get rid of my spatula? If you have one of those plastic spatulas that's starting, you do. If it's starting to like melt a little bit or bend or chip, it's time to swap it out. And so this was sort of a revelation for a lot of people because
I think this looks like a grill item.
Exactly, it looks like a grill item, and it's also called a fish turner. But guys, you don't need to use it for the grill, and you don't need to use it exclusively for fish. So what's great about these, you can use them for burgers, you can use them for vegetables. We found this one on Amazon. It's under $40. You can see it has this wood handle recyclable, no plastic, and this is stainless steel. And when you're flipping things, it gets rid of any of that grease.
I'm getting all of this stuff.
Yeah, this is incredible, and you will have it for a really long time. That's the other great thing about a lot of these items.
I'm confused about this.
Okay, this looks like plastic, but it is not, you guys. This is silicone. So when you're shopping for things, look for wood, look for silicone, bamboo.
Silicone is not the same as plastic.
It's not the same thing. So what is great about it, though, is it can withstand really high heat. Go ahead and feel one of these.
I
They
did.
have like a lot
I
of
like the one
heft
with
to
sprinkles
them.
on
I know,
it.
they're so fun. This is from a company that's called GIR, widely praised, well-reviewed both by the industry and reviewers. Really affordable. They make spatulas in a bunch of different sizes, and this is great.
I love this kind for pancakes. That's
I was
why
just
I was
going to say,
unwilling.
thank you for taking that from me, because it's true. Pancakes, casseroles, you do need different kinds of spatulas for different things. Also really affordable. Okay, as a mom of 3 kids, this is my new favorite product.
Okay.
This is beeswax. So this is—
Is it beeswax?
It is. It's made with beeswax, natural resins, and organic cotton. And what I love about this is I've learned now that flexible plastic is the worst kind for microplastics in your food.
Oh, wow.
Especially if you heat it.
So like the wrapping.
So we want to just get an alternative to that, and this one is great. You see we have a little sandwich here. You
Is
can
it
cut this.
reusable?
It's reusable for up to a year.
Nice.
And the way you seal it is just with the warmth of your hands.
Oh, wow.
So again, really affordable.
There you
It's
go.
a great thing to have in your house, especially when you have like leftovers or something. You can just cut it out to the size you need, and then there you go. You don't need any plastic.
And we've got the price there and where you can get it. Awesome.
Exactly.
And then last but not least,
This
is this an air fryer?
This is an air fryer, you guys, but it's so much more. This is the Ninja Crispy. Ninja is known for just being like a pioneer in
great
innovation.
products.
Exactly. And what we loved about this one is you have both sizes. So when you buy it, you get the smaller size and the bigger size here. It can bake, it can air fry, it can re-crisp. So if you do have those leftovers and you're like, I'll just throw them in the microwave, you don't need to. You just pop them in here, and it really tastes like you just cooked it.
Okay, I'm definitely getting
We use this for dinner almost every single night.
And I don't use my air fryer, so maybe I'll use
Well,
this.
and the thing about air fryers, and the reason you need to swap them, is sometimes those baskets have plastic in them. This does not. You can see it's all glass and stainless steel, so you can feel like there's none of that plastic getting into your food. So it's safe, it's delicious, and I have to tell you, it saved me so much time at dinner time. This is a great investment.
Thrilled with all of these. Thanks for taking the
you.
time to do this, because I know it's
Absolutely.
on a lot of people's minds. I feel like we're always talking about it. So all of these products are shoppable on our website. We've got the whole list for you at goodmorningamerica.com.
Good morning, America.
Yeah.
Goodbye, good America. All right, we want to thank you all for watching. Really appreciate you being with us on this Friday.
And you can check out What You Need to Know anytime on Disney+.
Have a great weekend. So long.